Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. So, I get asked a lot about cycling new tanks. This is something that comes up probably weekly now. So, I'm going to do a video on how I cycle tanks. So, I've been in the hobby for way over 15 years. And for those of you who know me, you know I just love to test things out. I think there's nothing better than starting a new tank, watching everything grow, and then I'll dismantle the tank and start again because I love the problems. I love solving the issues and trying new things. Like for example, right now I've got star polyps there. I've got star polyps down there. Right there, and I've got star polyps there. Reason being, that one there is in direct sunlight. That one down there is under nearly no light, not sunlight. You know what I mean, light. That one down there is under nearly no light. That one up there is under reflective light. So some trees grow faster if they're in lower light. So they try and outcompete to get more light from the surrounding trees. So they'll grow faster to grow out the top of the canopy. So I'm basically testing whether people have done it or not before. I just want to see if like a bit of light, hardly any light, or a lot of light will make it grow faster. So I'm just testing it, see what happens. So while you guys are here, so let's go through the cycling, how I do this cycling. I just want to start by saying this method is in no way scientifically proven. I don't have no science behind it. This is me trialing and erroring over the past sort of 15 years and fine tuning it. And what you see in my tank now, this tank's been running 7 weeks. I put the corals in it a week ago, less than a week ago. And it's absolutely thriving. There's no diatoms, there's no cyano, except there's no algae blooms. All the fish are healthy and fat bellied. There's no diseases or problems. So let me run you through what I do. So first of all, I use ATM Colony, or I think it's called Blue Shark Colony now. I add whatever the dosage requires. Whatever it suggests, that into the tank with 1 or 2 fish. Now I know you might think this is mean, nitrogen cycle and all that, but your tank's almost, you've got the bacteria in there to deal with it instantly, right? A lot of people will say use a prawn or use a dead fish or frozen food or whatever to get the cycle going, but I use fish. This is the method I use. This is the method that I've trialed and errored and got it right. So a couple of fish. What I did initially is I put a cleaner wrasse in there with a clownfish. Reason being, if the clownfish got any diseases, the cleaner wrasse might be able to deal with it, or whatever happens. They're both very hardy fish and they could deal with it. So rock, sand, fish, colony. Nothing else. I had a filter in the tank in the sump, but I never changed it. I didn't change it until last week. It was the first time I changed the filter floss, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So first 3 to 4 weeks, you leave the lights off to let the bacteria colonize and propagate and take over the tank. Then you turn your lights on for 1 week. So, or until you start seeing any sort of algae. If you don't see algae, leave the lights on, you're already good to go. When you start seeing an algae, so this is my theory on it, and it works in practicality. So you start to see algae raise, and that creates more food for the bacteria. So now your bacteria population is rising, right? So your bacteria level was here because you put ATM Colony in. There's only the same amount of food that you're feeding the fish, so they're bottomed out, right? This is how far they're going to colonize. so your algae level's growing, your bacteria level grows. Then after 1 week, or once you start noticing algae, a lot of algae, you turn the lights off, right, which will kill the algae. Now your bacteria is still up here, so your bacteria is still at a higher level. So, but it will start going down, which is why you only leave the lights off for 1 week. Then when you turn the lights back on again, your bacterial level's still here, and that's it. Your whole cycle is done. Your bacterial level is as high as it's going to get. You've got fish in the tank. You're ready to rock and roll. You've got no algae bloom. There's no issues. It's all happy and honky dory. Like I said, I've not had an algae issue on this tank, and I haven't for years. I've tried every method for cycling a tank, and honestly, that's it. That's all it is. 3 to 4 weeks, lights off, colony, fish. And then lights on, let everything rise up. Lights off. That's it. Your bacteria outcompetes any algae that's gonna bloom. So as you can see, everything's healthy as low. Got a yellow tang in there, purple tang in there, black shoulder tang. Got a clown wrasse. You know, I've not got the most hardy fish in there. I've got an amphia. They're not all hardy fish. Some of them are prone to diseases, and I've got no issues. And I haven't had issues for many years, like 8 years since I'd perfected this method. After you turn your lights back on, then it's time to change the filter floss, because by then it'll be completely black, I imagine. Reason you don't change it is because you're just going to be removing good bacteria. Your nitrates will rise and phosphates, whatever, but you'll be removing good bacteria, which you want to keep in the tank as long as possible while it colonizes and grows. And that's literally it. No. I'll show you my sump now. Actually, let me show you the sump. Just to reiterate, the tank as you see it right now, I've just walked in the house. I've not cleaned any glass. I've not touched any rock. I've not done anything. Look, I'm so confident in it. There's probably a couple of grand's worth of mushrooms on there. Look, I know OG Bounce, DBME Wowie. There's some Frankensteins and other bounces. I've got gonnies in there, thriving, torches. Like I said, hard to keep. Well, not really hard to keep, but harder to keep fish in there. And everything's absolutely thriving. No issues. Look, sandbed's clean, glass is clean. This has been, when did I clean a glass? Saturday. So that's 4 days ago, and that's what the tank looks like right now. So the sump. All I have in here at the moment. So I think you've all watched probably all watched my plumbing videos. So I've got the return pump. I've got a Aquavolt, which literally just has carbon in it, loose carbon, and that's being fed from the return pump. And then I've got the UV sterilizer plugged in and running, but the light isn't turned on yet. I've got no need for a UV sterilizer yet, no need for a protein skimmer, and I'm literally just got a mat with some filter floss in it and some bio balls in the back compartment. That is it. My sump is absolutely empty. Obviously I've got an RO chamber here which I need to fill up with water, and I've got a little clownfish which is going to a customer in a day or two. I have the old setup, but I don't want any clownfish in this setup. So, but yeah, that's literally. There's nothing in the sump, nothing special going on whatsoever. Literally just that process that I've mentioned before. And if you try this, I would love to hear some feedback and your personal experiences with it. If there's anything you think could be tweaked, if there's anything you're like, oh, what if you tried this as well? Just leave it in the comments. I'll read every comment. Please just let me know if there's anything you feel could be adjusted with it. But like I said, it's as far as I'm concerned, it's pretty much perfected, and there's no issues going on there. Oh, another question people have had. I have done a separate video on this, but the rock work. So cab sea reef trees, a couple of them, arches and shapes and bits like that. So that's the rock work that I use. These are going to be. This is going to be a hammer and frog spawn garden. This is going to be different gonnies. So I'm going to have all different gonnies growing on each plate. And then that's that, yeah. And mushroom rock there, mushroom rock in the back underneath the cave. Some nice soft corals going out into the cave, and then torches and other bits across the top. Got a hiding fora in there as well, look. Quite a difficult coral to keep, and look at it. See, it's frabbing, little frag. Lovely little frag. Right, there you go. That's it from me. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. Catch us in a bit.